What is going down, yo good people? Today I've got like an update tutorial for mixing your beats in FL Studio. I'm gonna keep dropping these like every time I change something up or like do something to make a certain part of the beat sound better. So yeah, I'm just gonna break down how to get your beats nice and clean, mixed nicely. You don't need to use a huge amount of plugins to do it. And yeah, it's like, you can get it done in like 10 minutes if you wanted to do it. So it's, it's pretty decent. So let's dive into this one. So let's dive into my laptop now. Now I've got this beat that I cooked up in a previous video, and it sounds like this. But yeah, first thing you want to do is get all your sounds put into the mixer. So just do that first. Get everything in the mixer, mix it, and then just get everything leveled first. So that's the key. That's one of the key ingredients, is get all the volumes of each sound sounding like to your taste, and then start doing the mixing. So I'm just gonna play the beat and turn down anything that sounds too loud and turn up anything that sounds too quiet. Okay, so let's do it. Okay, that sounds good. Now, next thing that I'm gonna do is you can do this in any order, but like I mixed the 808, I add effects to all of the drums like as one, and then I add effects to the melody. So it doesn't matter which order you do it in, just do it in a way that you're comfortable doing it. So just for the tutorial, I'm gonna go in first and do the drums. So I've got the drums sat right here. So I'm gonna highlight them by just clicking, by pressing Control and left click, and then you just drag across all of your drums like that. And then I'm just gonna send them to their own like track in the mixer. So I'm just gonna put it here where I've already drawn it in. Drum send, and make sure that the drum send is going to the master as well. You don't want it just by itself, because then the volumes will be off. But yeah, once you've got all that in, then just solo the drums. So I'm just gonna turn off all of that. Okay, now the first thing that I'm gonna do is just come down to this built-in EQ and just sort of bring out some of the low end and brighten up some of the high end. So I'm just gonna play the beat and do that. Okay, that's cool. Next thing I'm going to do is add in a plugin called Bittersweet. So this is just like a free plugin by Flux, I believe. So yeah, it's totally free. So I load this up and I just drag this knob up a little bit, and that just basically enhances the transients, just makes it sound a bit crisper. So let's just do that. Okay, cool. Next thing we're going to go in with is the Camel Crusher. Again, this is a free plugin, so yeah, no budget required. And you're going to turn all of the knobs down, because it starts with this nasty preset. Turn distortion right down, turn the filter down, make sure that the master and the mix is to full. Turn the compressor right down, make sure it's on, and turn on fat mode. And then just drag the compressor up a tiny bit, just so you kind of, bringing the drums a little bit closer together. Okay, and then just level match it just by turning the volume down, Level match basically means you're just bringing it back down to the same volume that it was originally. So okay, cool. Now the next plugin is a paid plugin, but you can get free versions of this. I'd recommend just getting a paid one, because they're obviously going to sound better. But yeah, I'm going to throw on this Exciter. It's kind of like a distortion plugin. Just really crispens up the drums and just like makes them stand out in the mix. So I opened up this one by Waves. It's called the Aphex Vintage Oral Exciter, if you're interested. And then I just come to this, and then all I do is sort of bring the mix down a little bit with this knob. Just bring it down to like 4 or 5. It's nasty there, right? Okay, cool. Now, as like a little side tip, sometimes I add in like a little bit of reverb, just if the beat's really simple. It's just something to like subtly like fill out the beat. So I'll just add in like, you can go with the stock. I'll just go with the stock plugin for the tutorial. You can go with the stock plugin. Just turn the bass down and turn the low up a little bit. Turn the size up, and then just play with the mix until you can barely hear it. Okay, cool. So that's the drums done. Finished with the drums. Next thing is the bass, or the 808. So I got my 808 right here. All I'm going to do is add in a compressor. You don't have to do it on every beat, but I just like to do it just to kind of give it more oomph. It just sounds nice. It just sounds louder. So you don't have to use any fancy plugins. I'm just going to use the I'll just use the limiter so you can see what's going on. I'll show you how to do this. So just come to the compressor down here, turn the ratio up. You want it to like, I don't know, anywhere between 3 and 4. So like 3.5 is good. And then turn, and then you're just going to turn this threshold down. You're just going to turn this threshold down until you start getting a little bit of compression. Okay, like I'm already getting compression right there, so that's good for me. I'm going to turn the curve up a little bit, turn the sustain down, turn the knee down, sorry, a little bit. So I'm going to take some of the harshness off it. Okay, and then just turn the makeup gain. Then just turn the gain knob up just a little bit to kind of make up for the stuff that you've just taken off of it. Okay, second thing that I'll add to the 808 is that same exciter plugin that just kind of like brings the mid end. That just kind of like brings the mids out of the 808. So I'm gonna go that same plugin that I used earlier, and just bring that knob up a little bit. Okay, that sounds good. Okay, that's the 808 done. Then the last thing that I'll do is the melody. Now this is where like I add the most effects to like a certain sound. So I'm gonna bring the melody back in and solo the melody. Okay, so I'm gonna bring the melody in, and I'm just gonna like put all of the sounds in the melody. I'm just gonna make them run through one bus. Again, like it just saves CPU and makes things a lot easier. So grab them all by doing the same thing. Control left click drag, and then send them all to one bus. And again, make sure that's going to the master. And then the first effect that you want to put on is... Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is just cut some of the low frequencies out so that we can hear the 808 clearly. Just with a... Okay, that's good. Second thing is that camel crusher. Again, just add a bit of compression with the compression knob, obviously, because that's what a compressor does. Okay, boom. Okay, cool. You can compress a little harder than you did with the drums, just because you want those to sit quite nicely together. Okay, boom. Next thing that I'm going to come in with is the isotope vinyl. Not every single beat needs this, but if you want that kind of realistic, kind of old school type of sound, then this is like a really good plugin, and it is free. So yeah, why not? So we're going to come to the dust section. Just turn the amount right up to full. So when you do that, you can hear it. Okay, just want it a little bit further down. Okay, I'm going to turn the mechanical noise up a tiny bit. The wear up like only a few percent. The electrical noise up a tiny bit. Play the beat. And then depending on the beat you're making, just select the year. So like the earlier you get with the year, like the less low end there is and the less high end, I think. But yeah, just depends on the beat. So for me, I'm just going to go with like the 70s or the 80s. Yeah, 1980 sounds good for me. Okay, cool. Once I've got that in, I would add in this, like, is a sick plugin. It is called the Mondo Mod Stereo. It's by Waves. It is like $30, but trust me, I highly recommend you get it. It's kind of like a detuner, and it just makes things sound like super realistic. So, if you're listening, and that's actually like a secret. That is kind of like secret sauce for a lot of producers who make like really dope melodies. So yeah, bang that on there. Turn this phaser off. Turn the depth right down on the AM depth. And then just turn this up so that it starts sounding really like wibbly wobbly. Okay, not that much. Okay, that's enough. And then just turn the depth of it down so it's not so harsh. Okay, cool. And the last thing that I'll add on here is another like saturator / exciter. It's called the Decapitator. It's a really good plugin. So, and I'm just going to raise the drive quite high, and then maybe bring the mix down a bit just so that it sounds decent again. So Okay, and that is pretty much it. The last thing that I'll do is add a soft clipper to the master, which is, where is it? There it is. Just load it up and leave it. You don't need to touch anything on the actual plugin itself. It's just going to stop everything going through 0 dB. Then all you're going to do is just bring all the levels back up. And just keep bringing it up. Do it by ear, don't do it by the numbers. Just pull all the levels up until it sounds like really hard and punchy, if you're going for that kind of vibe. Okay, and then once you've done that, you are done with the mix. The last thing after that is just to master it, but that can be like another tutorial by itself. It'll take too long otherwise. But yeah, that's basically all I do with my mixes now. As far as like adding effects to individual sounds, you can go through and do that if you need to, but that totally depends on this type of sound you've used, the drums, and you know, whatever you've put in it. So yeah, that can be another video as well by itself. But that's like the go-to things that I do on pretty much every beat when it comes to just getting a mix sounding clean and yeah, getting it sounding nice and loud. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, whack a comment down below if you enjoyed it as well. If there's anything you do different, then let me know as well. But yeah, that's all for today, people. I'll see you in the next one.